Carlo Ginotti. Tonight's guests, from Annabelle and Bear, director Amy Weber, actors Curt, Massof, and Olivia Walby. Wolfman Mac and his Chiller Drive-In. And from Thomas Video, Jim Olenski and Gary Reichel. And now, Carlo Ginotti!
Oh, wow. Thank you very much, Andy. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. And welcome all of you back to the Royal Oak Show. Andy, you know, I've said it before, but we have actually, I've never said this. I've never used this word. A stupendous show tonight.
It's a big word.
It is. And I looked it up in a dictionary tonight. We have a great show. We've got...
show prep, research. I love it.
We've got, we've got 3 or 4 A guests, so it's going to be hard to fit it all in tonight. We may have part 2 or part 3 of the Royal Oak Show tonight, I think.
Okay.
How have you been? It's been, what, 3 or 4 weeks since we've talked?
It's been about 3 or 4 weeks, yeah. Everything's going well.
Yeah.
And,
any good news? Anything going on in your life that people out in Royal Oak Show land would want to know?
Well, the Lions have not lost a game yet this year.
That's true.
I've seen.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
It's very cold outside, too, and it's a heck froze over, I think.
Heck did froze over. I saw that on the Weather Channel this morning.
We have to change our language because there's some little ears in the audience tonight that we don't want to, usually we're very profane up here. How's everything else going?
Oh, it's going pretty good.
Your hair looks well tonight.
Thank you
I
very
really
much.
like the hair.
We're going to have to raise these ceilings up eventually.
Yeah,
But,
I'm still jealous. I'm still jealous of Andy's hair.
You can buy it. It comes in wool and microfiber. So.
Usually you start us off with a little bit of wisdom. Do you have any wisdom to impart on our guests and our fans tonight?
Well, a friend of mine called me recently, and he was trying to organize a bachelor party. And it brought me back to my own bachelor party.
Now remember,
we have young people. Do we have any married people in the crowd tonight? Anybody married? Okay.
Oh, I guess I should collect it.
Do we have any happily married people in the crowd? See, not as many. See? It's a shame, really. But it took me back to my own bachelor party at Chuck E. Cheese's, of course. And
it's a match made in heaven, I think.
But, you know, it reminded me of what Socrates once said about marriage.
Oh, we're getting deep now.
Of course, as you all know, he said, by all means, marry. He said, if you get a good wife, you'll be happy. And if you get a bad wife, you'll become a philosopher.
And is this thing working? Okay.
Thank you very much. We need a rim shot.
Yeah.
We can add that in post.
That'll teach me to turn the mic over to Andy. But
it's my one and only foray into.
Well, what do you say? We've got a great show. You want to get going?
We do. We've got a great show.
I think we've bored them enough with our banter.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, well, we've got a great show tonight, as I've said about 1,000,000 times. Our first guest tonight is a well-known writer and producer and owner of Radish Creation Group right here in Royal Oak. Her company has produced award-winning commercial spots, and that would be enough to get her on the Royal Oak Show in and of itself. However, she's done a couple other things that we're going to talk about tonight. She is soon to become a household name, if she isn't already, by the new feature film that she's written and produced called Annabelle and Bear. Ladies and gentlemen, Amy Weber. Amy?
Hello.
Welcome, Amy.
Thank you.
Amy, welcome to the Royal Oak Show.
Thank you very much.
I hope I didn't embarrass you by the lead-in. You are certainly a household name now, aren't you?
No.
Not yet?
Probably not, no.
Okay. Well,
I'm
Amy,
sure there's another Amy Weber out there that's a household name.
I thought that's who we're getting tonight.
This is the other
I'm the other Amy Weber.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I leave casting to Andy, and that's what happens again. So,
I'll teach you.
Amy, tell us about, first of all, before we get into your really wonderful film, tell us about Radish Creation Group right here in Royal Oak.
Well, it's actually Radish Creative Group.
Creative, I'm sorry.
Creative Group. And
Andy set me up on that one, too.
That's my fault.
good job, Andy.
Yeah.
Way to do your research.
Thank you.
But it is a creation, so I think that was the inspiration behind it, absolutely. Radish Creative Group has been around since 1996, and it's been a wonderful little company that's had many little projects, from our commercial work that's won numerous awards to our documentaries that we've been doing for youth. We've been doing a lot of educational programs over the last 15 years. And
you're right here in Royal Oak?
We're right here in Royal Oak, yep. We're right off of 4th Street, east of Main.
Excellent.
Come by, see us anytime.
Oh, we will. I hope everyone out there is going to stop by and see you, because I truly mean it. After seeing your film, which we're going to talk about in a little while, you and Radish Creation will be a household name. I just know it. And we're going to get into it in just a little while, but tell us a little bit about the show, and then we're going to lead up to a set of the show, the film.
The film? Okay. Well, Annabelle and Bear is a very tender, emotional story about this loner biker type named Bear, who on his 36th birthday, his whole world turns upside down when at the front door appears his ex-girlfriend, who happens to be a junkie, drug addict, however you want to put it, shows up with his estranged 2-year-old daughter, who he has never known, and basically tells him that she's done being a mother. And
that's nice to hear all of a sudden.
Yeah, very nice to hear, and poor little Annabelle, innocent and in the middle of all of this. And so he's faced not only, and he's faced with not only having to deal with his past, but now he's also forced to deal with the idea that he's a single parent and he's on his own. And this story is this tender journey about the two of them in this little ride they take together, literally and also emotionally.
It's a very, very excellent film, and I'll tell you what, when I contacted you to ask you to be on the show, you were kind enough to invite Richard Wilson, the producer, and Andy and myself to come down to the debut down at the Music Hall in Detroit last Saturday, the 20th of February.
Yes.
And say no more. I was very honored to be there. It was a beautiful experience. Now, you saw the set, the scene that we have. Could you set it up for us a little bit? I think we're going to...
Yes, I believe this is when Annie, Bear's ex-girlfriend, arrives at Bear's house that evening.
Okay. Let's see what we've got.
I know what you must be thinking right now. What the hell, right?
A father? Really? I haven't seen the kid since the week she was born. Now you want me to be the daddy? Not gonna happen.
She could get hurt if she stays with me. Don't judge me.
Well, that's great. That's great. I urge everyone to go out and see it, and we're going to, in a little while, we're going to tell everybody how they can do that. Why this movie and why now?
Oh, it was an inspiration. I've always wanted to do a feature film, and it was the right time. Not only with the film incentive, which would allow us to, it would allow us to afford it in a capacity. I mean, to produce a feature film. I mean, it's a very large budget. You usually have to wait for investors to buy into your idea. But the way we chose to do it, we were just going to do it 100% our way. And that was to call upon some friends that I've worked with for many, many years in the commercial industry and say, I've got this idea, I've got this screenplay. I'm very, very happy with where it's at. I'm ready to do this. Do you want to take this journey with me?
And I imagine a journey it is. It was.
It was a wonderful journey. From the very start, it was an effortless journey. And I don't say that without obviously giving credit to all of those who put all of their heart into it. I say it because it was almost energetically a movement without effort.
Andy and I were talking about the whole process a little bit before, because you know, Andy and I have produced many, many films. You probably didn't know that.
They're lesser known.
Lesser known than
you
Annabelle.
are a household name. I already knew that.
And Roy Loki is.
Well, go on, come on. Flattery will get you everywhere. But something unique about this film is that it was made 100% here in Michigan, with Michigan products and everything else.
Yes, it was.
Right.
Everything
in fact,
about
my
it.
brother-in-law actually auditioned for your film.
Oh, he did? Did he make it?
No, he wasn't selected. In fact, he's out in the parking lot right now, waiting to talk to you. Something about crushing dreams. I don't know. All
you
of
might
that.
want to warn him. I'm a brown belt, so just.
Hey, say no more.
Okay. Well, let's not tell him.
Okay, that might be fun.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Tell us a little bit.
I love being approached by people in the parking lot in the dark.
It happens to us all the time. It happens to us all the time. And they're not autograph seekers either, I'll tell you that. Now, tell us a little bit about the production itself and what you had to go through and how you casted the magnificent cast that you ultimately ended up with.
We were very lucky to find the amazing cast that we found. We were dedicated to finding all of our talent and all of our lead roles and our supporting character roles within the Michigan border, if you will, the boundaries of Michigan. And I knew it was a possibility because I work with a lot of talent here in Michigan, and there is a lot of talent here. Untapped talent. Talent that hasn't really had that one project that someone can believe in them, and in turn they can one day believe in themselves.
And you found a significant number of those people to be in your film.
We did. We had an open casting call. Fox 2 News helped us out a little bit with the PR there. And
tell the ladies and gentlemen here in TV land, how many parts were you looking for, and how many people showed up at the auditions?
Well, we had over 2,000 people, I believe, over a period of time, because we had to break those auditions up instead of one giant casting call. We really had to do it where there was not mayhem everywhere. So we had appointments. I personally auditioned every single person that walked in the door.
How long did that take?
All day, many days, but it was fun. We had such a great time doing it, and we met some of the most amazing people. It was really fun.
I bet you it was difficult to try to trim it down to get the people that you ended up with. I mean,
I knew who I wanted the moment I met them.
We're going to meet two of them later on, and I think that was a wise choice. We've got Annabelle and Bear here tonight, so we're going to talk to them in just a little while ago. Talk to us a little bit about again, the production. You got the casting. There was a magnificent soundtrack. Those are all, again, local artists.
Yes.
How did you find the different talent there?
We actually put a call out to Michiganders again and said, okay, you helped us cast our film, you helped us crew our film. Now we want your help scoring the film. And I was looking for original songs and instrumental pieces that would help score the film. And I really had my mind set on a particular sound, a particular genre. But instead of calling out for those pieces, I waited to see what was coming in, because again, everything just flowed with this project. We received over 500 submissions. It was difficult to
I would imagine.
It was to select those and dwindle them down to a list. But then we held a competition where the people of Michigan and Detroit were able to vote on the top song out of the top 10 that we selected, and one of those bands actually, their song won by a landslide. I mean, it was a tough competition, but a lot of people voted for this one group called Nervous But Excited.
I was going to say Nervous But Excited.
Nervous But Excited, and their beautiful song Said and Done. And then we had a runner-up to that competition, the Vigilante Sidekicks.
Okay.
And the soundtrack, I am so proud of this soundtrack, and we are now, after the premiere, getting a lot of wonderful responses. People are Facebooking us, emailing us, saying, this is the best soundtrack ever. I love this. I am addicted to these songs. And that's what happens. You see the film, and the music it's addictive.
You have a connection to a guest later on in the show. I guess you had the world-renowned audio engineer of Matt Downey.
Oh, yes.
Yes. We have a 6 degrees of, what is it, 6 degrees of
separation.
Separation, yeah. Yes, with a couple of our guests later on playing in the band Cinecide.
Matt was he was the best audio engineer I could have asked for to help me piece this together. He worked so hard, and he's a perfectionist, a little bit like me. And we work very well together, because before he shows me anything, he wants to love it, and I want him to love it. And he did an amazing job on the sound on this film.
And now he owes me $20 for the plug I just gave him. So.
I owe him a lot more than $20.
We better get that in writing, huh?
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, we could talk about the film forever and talk about your production company, but I want to move on to some of the other things, because there are some important issues. Your film is going to be, the first time it was shown was last Saturday at the Music Hall. Mm-hmm. Where is it going to be next? How can people see it?
Well, we are setting up at this time a second chance screening. The response to the first screening was so overwhelming, and the request for tickets, because we sold out very quickly. I think it was a record time sellout.
Standing room only at the Music Hall.
It was pretty unbelievable. So what we are doing now is we are planning the second screening of Annabelle and Bear, and it's going to be a very large venue, just like Music Hall. It may even be a bigger venue.
And people can contact you at your website?
They can. If they go to annabelleandbear.com, there is a way to contact us through an email address. If you click on the little ticket on our main page on annabelleandbear.com, it will take you into the announcement page of our venue. And I believe very, very soon, probably before this show airs, that information will be up and people will be able to purchase tickets.
Good, and this film will be shown the whole month of March and probably in the rest of the year. So you'll be getting a lot of hits on your website. Before we go, we've got Annabelle and Bear coming on in just a little while ago, but also I think we would be remiss if we didn't mention Starfish Family Service.
Yes.
How did Starfish Family Service, how does that play into the film, and tell us just a little bit about what that service is.
Starfish Family Services is an unbelievable organization who, through education and support programs, supports at-risk families. The mission of Starfish Family Services is, I believe their exact mission is securing brighter futures for children. And that tied in perfectly with the theme of Annabelle and Bear.
That's what they do. That's
what they do.
Yeah.
They service bears every day, and they see bears every day in little Annabelles. And when they were brought to my attention, it was hands down the only choice for me as far as who was going to be the beneficiary of our first screening.
Well, it was a great choice. I really will.
Thank you.
Amy, thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
I know that your name, as well as Annabelle and Bear, is going to really be a household name. Everyone has to see this film. It's an order. Everyone has to see it.
It's an order.
Yes.
See the film.
From Royal Oak Show.
And bring your Kleenex.
Right. Oh, definitely bring your Kleenex.
Wait, I have to ask, did you cry?
No, I didn't cry. Let's just put it this way. When the lights, Richard was sitting next to me, and I think I heard him sniffling a few times. When the lights went on, there were a lot of people that were sniffling, and I may have been one of them. I'm not sure, but it was.
That's a great answer.
It was a really good film.
Thank you very much.
It made you think. It's a kind of film that when you go home, I was trying to explain it to people, and you can't. You have to see it. So I've said enough. Now we're going to see some of the stars of the show, and I see them fidgeting about out there. Not Bear. Bear doesn't fidget, but
he fidgets with his right arm.
Well, thank you very much for coming, and don't move. We're going to see Annabelle and Bear in our next episode. Amy, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Royal Oak Show. We have two of the stars of Annabelle and Bear. We have, in fact, Annabelle and Bear, Curt Massof and Olivia Walby. Come on down, guys. How
you doing? Good.
How you doing, Curt? Very nice to meet you too. Thank you very much, both of you, for coming on the show.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
Olivia, you look beautiful tonight. You look really pretty. Yeah. What is that thing? Is that a microphone?
Yeah.
I got to ask you, how old are you?
3.
3?
Yeah.
That's good. Curt, how are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
Curt is one of the main characters.
That's right.
In fact, you only know him as Bear, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you like Bear?
Good.
He's okay? Think you'll stay with him for a little while? Curt, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
We're having a great night tonight. Great night. It was a pleasure speaking with Amy just a little while ago, and we're going to talk to both you guys. How did you get involved with Annabelle and Bear?
I actually I do freelance work for Amy through Radish Creative. Okay. And I shoot and edit, things like that. So I've known Amy for a while, and she told me she was doing this movie, and said I'd fit the description of the lead character, and asked me to audition, and I did.
You did a great job, I'll tell you. It was quite a show, quite a film, I should say. What other kind of experience have you had?
I actually started out as a makeup effects guy. I used to make monsters. So,
oh, did you?
Yeah, that's how I started. That was a long time ago, late 80s, early 90s.
You know one of our next guests, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I know
like
of him,
home
yes.
week.
Yeah,
now, Olivia, this is a picture of you. Olivia, let me ask you this question. Who's this right here? We know who that is. Is that you?
Yeah.
Did you like?
I turned into Olivia again.
Did you? You're not Annabelle anymore?
No.
Okay. How did you like being Annabelle?
I did.
You did?
Mhm.
Was it fun being in that movie?
Yeah.
What was the best? What was the best time that you had?
It was fun. So.
Yeah, it was fun. Now, let me ask you a question. When you were done with a scene, what did everybody yell, or what did everybody say to you when you were done with the scene?
Yay, Annabelle.
They said, "Yay, Annabelle."
But I turned into Olivia again.
And then you turned into Olivia.
What's inside
Now, who
there?
took care of you, Olivia? Who took care of you when you were in the film?
You.
Did Bear
That's
take care of
right.
you?
Yeah.
He was your daddy on the film, wasn't he?
Yeah. There's you.
And you.
This is
I
you
know
right
that's
here,
us.
and
Look
who's
at
this
that.
right here?
Bear.
That's Bear. Okay. Now, what did you used to say to Bear in the movie?
I want peanut butter.
What kind of peanut butter, though?
Velvet.
Velvet peanut butter. Andy, that's your favorite.
Hey, that's number one.
But actually, I like to get a spoonful.
A spoonful. Let me ask you a question, then I'm going to talk to Bear. Olivia, what did you used to say to Bear in the movie? After you said you wanted peanut butter, what else did you say to Bear?
What?
In the morning, what would you say?
Where are we going today, Bear?
That was my favorite. That was one of my favorite lines in the whole movie.
Yep.
Because, you know, I won't spoil it, but Bear would wake up, and sometimes he wasn't always in the best of moods. And Annabelle
grouchy.
or Olivia would say, "What are we going to do today, Bear?" And that was a great scene.
Yeah.
How did you like acting in the movie? You got to be careful because Amy's here. So
Yeah. No, it was actually a lot of fun.
Did you?
Yeah, it's it's a different process of what I'm used to, and I actually enjoyed it a lot. It's nice to get away from some of the technology and actually, kind of just go for it.
Was it? Did you ever have any kind of frustrating times while it was being filmed?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't normally do this sort of thing, so sometimes it was very frustrating. When you're trying to pull out something or try to do something a little.
She's experimenting over there.
I know. Yeah, it was definitely a challenge.
What were what was one of the high points of the movie, or the film for you?
I don't really know. I mean, it was also, it was, as an experience, the entire experience was a good experience for me. Even the long nights and, 4 in the morning, trying to get a shot and you're dead tired. It was just a lot of fun,
Your character was very convincing. I mean, you're playing a really rough, gruff biker guy, and you had a pretty well-balanced kind of personality, I thought.
Thanks.
Was that kind of what you were trying to present?
I mean, it's the way the character was written, and I just tried to play it how it was written, and how Amy saw the character,
How did you like working with Olivia?
She's awesome.
She is the greatest.
She's great. Oh, yeah, she's great.
Olivia comes from a Royal Oak family. Her last name is Walby. There's some Walbys in the audience out there. Anybody that lived in Royal Oak for any time would know
You are
Walby
pretty, that's
Paints,
right.
downtown Royal Oak. Did you ever get used to people clapping when you talk, Olivia?
Yeah.
Do you like when people clap? Andy never hears claps when he's...
I hear crickets.
Yeah.
He hears crickets, especially when he pulls out those Socrates quotes. You like my ring? This is
First
good.
and last time.
You think I could be in a movie, Olivia? No, she's Now, there was one scene, and again, I won't, you're at a bar in Detroit area, the Stonehouse bar. Andy, you ever been to the Stonehouse?
No, I've missed that place.
I've been there. I've been there. So, but are you a boxer at all? I won't give it away.
I'm not a boxer, no.
Okay, well.
I've scrapped a few times, though.
Yeah, let's see. Now, where are you from?
I'm actually kind of from all over the Midwest. I've lived here for the last 20 years. I went to high school in Michigan, so I've left and come back. I'm one of those guys.
Where are we going to see Curt again? Are we going to see him anywhere?
I don't know yet.
All right.
I don't know yet. Hopefully.
Any plans for the future?
Just keep trying to get out there. I just like doing all of it. So
Yeah, well, you were very convincing, and I really enjoyed seeing you in the.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
In the film, it was one of the best films I've seen in quite a while.
Thank you.
So I think we have another scene in. I'm being told to that sign language. I'm learning sign language as we go along.
All right.
We have another scene from the film. Do you know which scene it is?
I don't.
Okay, then I guess we'll be a surprise for everyone. Why don't we sit back and see a little scene from Annabelle and Bear.
Talked to my mom. Said she'd take her.
All the way from frickin' Maine? Way past the buck, Chuck.
Days are wasted, dreams I've tasted, they aren't mine.
I got my hair all wet. That's why my hair.
How I long for love sublime.
I got bear.
Ow. A little hard for a little girl. Hey, Annabelle, you want to stay at Grandma's? Grandma?
I'm gonna stay with Bear.
What am I supposed to do with you, kid?
I don't know.
Annabelle and Bear. I just have another question for you. I have one more question for you, Olivia. You, in the movie, you played with your grandpa, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you like playing with your grandpa?
You, Baba.
There you go. You had everybody in the movie. Did you have any questions for me?
No.
What do you want to ask me?
I like the one with the walking.
Yeah, did you play on that little play structure?
Yeah. And with that girl.
Oh, you played with this little girl here? What was her name?
What? Who's? You.
Was her name Logan?
Yeah, Logan and Aiden are really fun.
Logan's here too.
That's right.
Well,
And
yeah. Well, thank you very much, Curt and Olivia. I want to thank you, Olivia, for coming on. Thank you very much.
Thank
Curt,
you.
thank you very much for coming on. I urge everyone to come and see you guys in this film.
Thanks, I
It's one of the
appreciate
best
it.
films I've seen in a while.
Excellent, thank you.
Have a seat right there, and we'll be right back.
That's it.
You'd think it would be easy to tell which kids have trouble with their eyesight, but that's not always the case.
here, kitty, kitty.
For clues on how to spot the signs of childhood vision problems, visit checkyearly.com.
It seemed like a good idea. My daughter would have a party at our house. I thought if they were going to drink, it would be better for them to do it at home where I could keep an eye on them. I even bought the alcohol myself. I thought it would be safer that way. And I guess I just wanted to be a cool parent. I didn't know that what I did was illegal, and then I could end up here.
Time's up.
I have to go.
And now for our community announcements. April is somewhat of a quiet month around Royal Oak. Everyone's preparing their taxes. Carlo will be filing his extension forms. And I guess we do have a few announcements, though. Tuesday evenings at the library, for instance, now through April 27th, you can bring the whole family in to enjoy a variety of evening programs designed for elementary and preschool children. Programs start at 7 p.m. and last about 45 minutes. Pre-registration is requested. Go to www.ropl.org to find out more. Future Midwest comes to Royal Oak. Future Midwest is the region's largest two-day technology and knowledge conference, taking place in Royal Oak April 16th and 17th. Future Midwest kicks things up a notch with presentations, group breakout sessions, and relationship-building opportunities that will redefine business in the digital age. To find out more, go to futuremidwest.com. And finally, looking to raise funds for a number of projects in Royal Oaks parks, the Royal Oak Nature Society will be hosting its annual fundraiser on Friday, April 16th at the Royal Oak Elks Club. Tickets are $10 in advance, $12 at the door, and donations are accepted for children 12 and under. For more information, contact Ted Vickers at 248-246-3380 or email Ted at naturesociety@ci.royal-oak.mi.us. On your screen, that's the community calendar for this month. And Carlo, back to you, sir.
You know, Andy, with all of those happenings, it's a wonder that you can't find something to do in Royal Oak or the environments around here. Well, hey, Andy, we're going to shift gears a little bit. We're going to leave the world of Annabelle and Bear, and we're going to go into the zany, crazy world of late-night TV. Our next guest, all you have to do is go on his website. Everyone knows him. You know who he is, don't you, Andy?
I know him well.
You go on his website, and I think his intro says it best. Remember the good old days of the Ghoul, Sir Graves Ghastly, and Count Scary? You remember those days, don't you?
I do indeed.
I'm going to lead up to the next guest.
I can feel it.
Well, remember the days of truly local TV like we're doing right now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what, Andy? They're back. And our next guest is a prime example of where things have gone. Our next guest, ladies and gentlemen, Wolfman Mac Kelly from Drive-In, Chiller Drive-In.
Hey! I think we go see the same guy.
Wolfman, how you doing?
All right, good to see you.
I can't complain. I can't complain at all. Yeah, we are going to shift gears just a little bit, aren't we?
All right. Yeah, this is really cool. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but, you know, we'll get into where we're at right now. But Chiller Drive-In, Wolfman Mac's Chiller Drive-In is the name of the TV show now, but we were Wolfman Mac's Nightmare Cinema when I started the TV show on public access. And actually, we started it right here. The good cats here at CMN were the ones that brought the television show on the air, the first ones. After this, then it was Romeo and then SWAC out there in Farmington Hills. But yeah, it all stared right here at CMN.
Oh, man, I tell you, you are the best, I'll tell you.
Well, thanks.
You know, tell us a little bit about Wolfman Mac and the Chiller Drive-In.
Wolfman Mac's Chiller Drive-In is, what we do is we show all those classic B-grade horror and sci-fi movies, some suspense stuff too. If you remember, you know, House on Haunted Hill and Plan 9 from Outer Space, and, you know the movie where you could clearly see that the flying saucer is being held by a string. All those good cheesy movies. We show all of those movies, and basically the setup is that Wolfman Mac owns a drive-in called the Chiller Drive-In in the fictional town of Hauntington Heights. Well, it's a city where you can go and there's little creatures walking around everywhere. We've got our own zombie deli where you can go and order a side of New York stripper. And we got our own little, you know, coffee hangout, the Zombie A-Go-Go. And it's where we have live bands play all the time. We support a lot of local talent on the program. And then we show these classic movies. And while the viewers are watching the movies, there's always some sort of a calamity that befalls me or one of my other characters in the projection booth or somewhere throughout the town. And it's done in sort of a situation comedy sort of way. If you think of Herman Munster meets Tim the Toolman Taylor. That's kind of the thing.
Yeah, in fact, I think we've got a little scene, don't we, from a little bit from the show?
Yeah, I brought you a couple clips. Brought you two of the funny spits of the whole 3 seasons.
You know, I'm learning all kind of taping jargon now today. What we call a lead-in, or you want to set this up? Or do you even know which one it is?
You know, the first one that you're going to see is a joke that we did towards Saturday Night Live, and it's really cool because when we our first few months of getting onto MyTV 20, we exploded so fast. We spread like an infectious disease, man. I'm so grateful for the people that watch our show. And we actually took away an entire male demographic for months and months and months from Saturday Night Live. And they know about our program.
Really?
And yeah, they knew the men 30 to 55. Where'd they go? Right here. So that's the first joke that you'll see
all right,
on the program. So
let's lead into it and see what we got.
Hey, Wolfpack, it's midnight and it's Saturday and you're watching Chiller Drive-In, so you know what that means.
Saturday Night Live is in reruns?
Well,
What's your full name? Richard Lindsay. Where do you live, Richard? Right up there in that house.
That right there, that was that last scene that you saw there. That's from a great little movie called Beach Girls and the Monster, and you know it's It's so great, this movie, because you could tell throughout the whole thing that the monster is a rubber suit, you know, and these people are freaked out about it, but that's what makes it charming.
You've got a whole host of characters on your show, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, the guy that you saw with us there, that's Boney Bob. Boney Bob is a talking skeleton. He's my sidekick. I've never kicked him in the side, but we have our own little nutty professor. His name is Professor Embalmer. We've got a man-child, if you will, a very big guy by the name of Morbid Melvin. We have Rubella. If any of you cats out there, dig Betty Page, our Rubella is the spitting image. And, several other characters. We've got a brand new vampire character that's going to be moving into the town of Hauntington Heights pretty soon. Very classy cat. His name is Scary Grant.
Scary Grant.
And he wears the white smoking jacket. And you know what's really cool about this? We named him Scary Grant because I can't tell you where I got him. But some folks very close to Lawson Deming, who used to be Sir Graves, which is where, I grew up watching that guy. And they donated the gates that Sir Graves used on his show for our program. And you'll see that on our program soon.
Oh, perfect. That'll be great. That'll be great to watch. What was the inspiration for the show?
I was when I was a kid, I used to watch Sir Graves Ghastly, every Saturday afternoon.
Who didn't? That was a great show.
Oh, man. And I would send him pictures of Lon Chaney Jr. dressed up as the Wolfman. And one day, he finally put one of my pictures on the show. And I ran around the house and said, I'm on TV. And I'm telling you, right then and there, that's when I knew I wanted to do this ever since I was a kid. And then I started to get old enough. Parents would go out and, dancing or whatever. And I would sneak downstairs and I'd turn on the Ghoul.
Oh, the Ghoul. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. And that changed everything for me. And that's something that I've always wanted to do. And when I graduated from high school, and I'm telling you, right after, I moved to California to become an actor because I wanted to, do this out there. And instead, I became a radio disc jockey. I was working afternoon drive up at Saginaw a few years back, and there was a guy up there in Bay City that was airing all of these old movies, and I interviewed him on my radio show. And I said, you need somebody to come on and do some bits. And he said, well, come on down. I can't pay you. So I did. I just went down, not as Wolfman, but I went down as myself. And it just exploded in a few weeks, and I knew I had to come up with a character, and toyed around with the idea of doing the vampire characters with the over-the-draw of that accent, and I knew I couldn't keep that up for a while, so I just came up with the Wolfman, and
it's all history after that.
That was it. Brought it down here to Troy in Royal Oak area at CMN, and man, these good cats, took a chance on us, and we're very grateful. That's for sure.
Well, you started locally, but you're nationally syndicated now. Is that?
We are now nationally syndicated. I'm in 121 markets. The Retro Television Network serves about 80 million homes all over the country, and we're on every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, 9 Central. Every Saturday night without failure. You'll need cable for a little while, but we are talking to the Dish folks, so we'll see.
Good. I remember, I think it was before Christmas when I called you. I thought, there's no way that Wolfman's coming on the Royal Oak Show. And sure enough, he says, yeah, I'll be there. No problem at all. I was really happy to hear that. So, hey, when the show's not on, where can we see you? What do you do when you're not taping?
I'm glad you asked. I do a show, actually.
That's why I asked.
Yeah. We do a live version of our TV show. It's kind of a live theater version of Wolfman Mac's Chiller Drive-In at the Royal Oak, Maine. It's the first Thursday of every month. Now, you missed March. We did Night of the Living Dead.
Oh.
And, usually it's very family friendly, but Night of the Living Dead, not so much. But it's a great time. We bounce a beach ball around the audience. People yell at the movie and make fun of it and bring their little laser pens. And it's just it's a totally different movie experience. And then, of course, every Friday night at Bo's Smokehouse and Barbecue in downtown Pontiac, I host a rockabilly show. And if you want to come on out and see some of that great old bebop and blues from the 1950s, come on out. And we also got a little bit of gothabilly and psychobilly.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Psychobilly.
We can get Andy on that.
What is
show.
psychobilly?
Psychobilly is just faster, wilder, crazy, and I get that big old bass slapping going on, and it's just I don't really know how to explain it. It's just
you gotta come out, you gotta come out and
so much
see it,
fun. Get some barbecue grindage and watch listen to some rockabilly music.
I'm going to show we've got a bunch of these for the audience. I hope they all take them home, and I hope we get a little close up of this one. Shows a little bit about you want to.
Yeah, this is. It looks like I'm saying pull my finger.
Of course, you know you're not saying that, right?
Don't.
Okay. It's not a pretty thing, huh?
Never do that.
You have a website?
I do. It's chillerdrivein.com, and of course you can go and friend us on Facebook and MySpace by just simply looking up Wolfman Mac.
Well, great. Wolfman, thank you very much for being on the show. Is there anything that we can do for you while you're here?
Oh, no, man, I'm good.
All right.
I'm good, yeah.
It's kind of like an old home week being back here.
Yeah, it's a reunion. And again, very grateful for these good folks over here at CMN. Thanks very much.
Yeah, they do a great job.
Really
do a good job.
Really.
All right, so the next thing, we're going to keep our eye out at the Royal Oak, Maine, the theater.
Yeah, you want to come on out the first Thursday of April. Right offhand, I don't know what that date is. But
you can get it on your website, right?
Yeah, get it on the website, and don't really even quite know what the movie's going to be at. We sometimes choose it at the last minute, keep it as a surprise.
How do you pick your movies, and how do you pick your skits? We talked a little bit about this afternoon. But,
we did a lot of research on the public domain films. And that's what we use right now is public domain because, it's a no-budget production. But once we start getting into some sponsorship and what have you, we are going to be digging into the vaults of Universal Studios and Paramount, Warner Brothers, Hammer, Anchor Bay, and always keeping it classic and keeping it good popcorn eating fun for the whole family. Definitely going to be venturing out of the public domain films here pretty soon.
Well, good. We're going to keep our eye out for you, Wolfman. Thank you very much for coming on the Royal Oak Show.
Thanks very much.
And don't forget to tune in to Wolfman Mac's Chiller Drive-In.
Thank you.
You will have a blast.
And as we say in Haunted Tonight's, stay creepy.
Okay, Andy, now we're really going to shift gears here. And I'll tell you what, our next guest, unless you've been in a cloistered monastery or deserted island, or been trapped on a deserted island, you know that our next guest. Of course, I'm speaking of the proprietors of the Thomas Video and DVD. They have been in our community since before written history. Did you know that?
I did not realize that.
Well, let's bring them out and see what they have to say. Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Olenski and Gary Reichel.
Jim? Gary?
Thanks for coming out.
Hey.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I want to welcome both of you on the show. It means a lot to me. This is one of my favorite shows so far, and I think, Andy, you probably feel the same way.
We've had a good time so far, yep.
I kind of pumped you up just a little bit, maybe a slight exaggeration about the beginning of written history and your well-known, their popularity, but you guys have been around for Thomas Video for quite a while, haven't you?
1974.
1974. Were there even videos out then?
No, but there was films.
We had films.
So we sold Super 8 films and a little bit of 16, but mainly Super 8.
And where did you start?
In Royal Oak, on 14 Mile just west of Crooks.
How did you guys get involved in the business?
Well,
I know already. I just want you guys to
tell.
All right.
Yeah. Well, Dennis
I'm
Thomas.
going to test to see if you got it right.
Dennis Thomas started it off.
I didn't know that one.
And
Okay.
about a year into it, I quit my job at the Armored Car Company, where both of us actually worked, and because I ran out of bullets. And anyways, I was a customer at the store, and I went to work there. And then you came in.
Right. I came along just as, it's funny, just as home video started, which was the fall of '77. And there was, the Betamax. I think
Betamax, of course.
People probably remember that a little bit. And they had just started. It was really unique. People were amazed by it. They had never been able to own a movie. It was just something totally new, a new concept, and people were very excited by it. So I came in right at that point. And Jim and I were working for Dennis, and then eventually kind of took over a part of the store, and then took over a little bit more, and then the whole thing.
And one thing led to another, and Dennis ended up selling the store to you, or selling the business to you?
We kind of, Jim and I had we started off, we did like a department, and ran that and owned it, and then Dennis was interested in leaving, and we took over the other half and went from there.
Because it got too weird for him.
Oh, yeah. Imagine that. Now, Thomas Video, explain the concept. It's not your everyday big box video store. Am I correct? Did I hit it on the head, Andy?
I think you got it right, yeah.
Okay.
We cast our net wide.
Well, yeah, we believe that the people should be able to pick what they want to watch instead of just, it's almost like you go to a Blockbuster and it's like you got their selection, and that's it. So we like to say we have the movies they don't want you to see.
And you've got any kind of movie that anyone would ever want to watch, correct?
40,000 movies at the store, which is a pretty, I don't know, I guess we would say it's the largest selection in Michigan.
Yeah, we've heard it's like the third or so largest selection in the country, actually.
Have you guys watched every one of the videos?
Every one.
Twice.
Backwards.
Gary's seen every one in this one room we got, I know.
the special room?
What?
We have cult film there, too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Now, I've had a membership at Thomas Video for quite a while. In fact, I probably still have late fees out there.
We eat again.
Have a little contest with you. So. But you started out again. You started out with the big, film, and then you went to tapes with the Betamax and the huge machines that cost $1,500.
That's right.
Then what were I'm showing my age again, the discs. What were those called?
Laser discs.
The laser discs. You still have those too, don't you?
We sell them now. We don't rent them anymore. They haven't made, the last disc, I think, was Saving Private Ryan, so that's how long since they've stopped making them. But we have a lot of customers that still buy them, not just for the disc, I don't think, but sometimes for the covers. It's like LPs versus CDs, it's bigger, so they can have nicer graphics.
You guys also have interest outside of Thomas Video. You're part of a band. Give you a little plug there.
All right.
Did I hit that right?
You did. Yeah.
I get $20 from you
We've been making music for years in a band called Cinecide, and I guess we would. I shouldn't say I guess. We've got what was considered the first punk rock single in Detroit called "Gutless Radio." And, we continue to make music. I think it's good music. We've licensed music to European labels. We're currently working on a new licensing deal and for a European label. And it's, I think it's good stuff. There's a recent disc that we have.
Is that a cue?
It is, yeah. Our recent disc, go ahead, Carlo, we'll let you handle it.
This is the most recent album that you're...
Is, yeah.
See, I'm still showing my age. Album. It's a disc.
You can call them albums, yeah.
All right, I'm going to show this. And you have a website, correct? And people can go on. I'm going to give them a little tease. Here's the name of here's the disc. We get a little close up here.
Very good.
This is, you like that?
Very talented.
Yeah. No, that's not
This
right.
is a Vampires versus Al-Qaeda, and these aren't your everyday vampires.
They're not.
They're vampires of a certain sexual preference.
There you go.
Okay.
So I think they can guess, yeah.
And I'm not going to say any more. I'm going to let you go, let people go on the website and check it out, and hopefully buy it too, right? Not just listen to the music.
Absolutely, yeah. We have a page, of course, on MySpace, which is always good for bands and things. So myspace.com/Cinecide. That's CINECYDE.
Like movies, cinema.
Right.
Side.
That's kind of where it came. There's the relation, and of course you can probably get it from thomasvideo.com, and you can get them at the store as well.
You sell your own albums at the store?
We sure do. We sure do. You better believe it.
Yeah. Andy, we got to figure that out.
I don't know how they did it, but that makes sense to me.
How many albums does Cinecide have? You have 8, did you say?
Yeah, it actually could be considered a little more than that. We're on a number of compilations. We've actually been bootlegged as well, which is kind of weird. You go, whoa. It's a couple of. There was a label in Europe that put out a compilation, and we lead off the compilation, but yet. It's a total bootleg. They never asked us. They just slapped it on there. It's kind of a compliment, but I mean,
but we don't sell them.
Yeah, hey, send us some. We'll sell them.
What instrument do you play, Jim? Are you the
guitar?
The guitar, Gary?
Well, I'm the vocalist in the band, but I play guitar. I write a lot of songs, so I will generally bring in a guitar and show them. And Jim and the band take it from there and make it something better. So.
You guys playing live at all, or?
We do, yeah. We've played, a lot of the local clubs and things, everything from Magic Stick and Paychecks to Painted Ladies, Smalls. A lot of places, they see the bands playing original music in local clubs, and we do that. We just recently played at the Painted Lady, which is the old Lily's in Hamtramck, and we had a great time, a rip-roaring rock and roll time.
I can't wait. I got to come out and see you guys. This is mine now, isn't it?
Yep. It is.
Sure. I'm going to take it home and listen to it tonight.
Maybe you could use it as some theme music for the show.
Yeah, we'll talk to Richard on it. I like it.
All right.
I'm going to get back just real briefly, and then we got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. Get back briefly into the video business. You guys have survived since the late 70s, and you've survived the ups and downs, and your business is stronger than ever right now, knock on pressed wood. But do you find that your business is affected by the economy in any way, or is it counter-cyclical, as I say?
It's affected by everything. I mean, it's affected by the economy here for sure, but it's also affected by all the other new technologies and stuff too. The only thing is we're such, because of the large selection, because of specializing in cult movies and foreign movies, and also like even American classics, it's not the same. We're not affected probably as much as like a blockbuster or a Hollywood video.
Is it safe to say you guys have a following?
We do, yeah.
You have loyal customers that come in and...
I mean, it's such a mix of people. We have, there's the mainstream films that, most places have. We'll have those. We have a lot of classics, a lot of foreign, a lot of cult, like Jim said. Wolfman Mac was on here and talking about his classics, and that is classics with a K. And we have a lot of those. We have probably all of them. So I mean, it really varies. If you're into, weird, strange, old, campy films, yeah, we have them. Or if you're into, art films or, really tasteful foreign films, yeah, we have them. Good old classics, I mean, real classics like, stuff Humphrey Bogart and, Betty Davis and things like that. Yeah, we've got them. And all kinds of dramas and everything in between. For 40,000 movies, I mean, you got to have a lot of movies. I mean, it runs the gamut,
I mean, you go in and truly, I mean, you walk around the store, and if you don't know what you're looking for, you can spend hours just grazing, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of stuff you won't carry? I mean, it's either too campy or too mainstream?
No, nothing like that. I think we made the decision a long time. The thing we don't carry is the Faces of Death style movies.
Oh, yeah,
now, we carry things that are gorier, but they're fake. We don't like to carry anything real. I mean, that may sound like silly to some people, but that's what we do,
Those were disturbing movies, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Not that I ever saw them or anything.
Well, we just happen to have a clip.
Yeah. Set us up for this clip that we're going to see.
Faces of Death.
Speaking of clips, you guys are in a band, Cinecide, and hopefully you'll just rock it into stardom after being on the Royal Oak Show, if you haven't already. You've got Thomas Video, one of the best video stores around. And now you're branching out into another genre, another kind of medium. Would it be fair to say that you guys are now in the independent film business?
I think that's fair to say. I mean, I think it's a natural, and actually moving to the new location, like a year ago, and sort of decorating it up more artistically, I think helped it for this movie. It made it an ideal setting. In fact, we did this movie, but just before that, a scout for the TV series, HBO series Hung came in. And, it sounded like they were going to do a video store scene, and I don't know if they did it, but it sounded like they were going to talk to us about it, so they didn't. I don't know if they ever did the scene somewhere else or not, but they like the colors and stuff too, so it's sort of a natural. And it's sort of, this movie is actually a sort of natural movie because it's sort of like a Clerks thing, which our store is very often a lot like Clerks. And that then sort of turns into a goofy horror film, and a guy brings back a snuff film.
What?
It's a family show.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. Yeah.
Well, I came in last night and I bought my own copy. So I hear Richard got a comp, but I got to buy my own. And I watched it this morning, and I got to tell you, it's I laughed, I cried, I then took a shower. It's a great movie, though. I mean, it's still here. It's You Can't Rent Here Anymore, and it's shot almost completely inside or around Thomas Video.
Thomas Video, yeah.
So it's kind of cool. It's like our other the film Annabelle and Bear. You can see some familiar things, and it's like, hey, I know that guy. And both of you, in fact, you play a character, Jim, named
Jim.
Okay,
but it's not me. It's not me.
And Gary, your character's. I like your character. What is your character's name?
Ray.
Weird Ray.
Yeah, Weird Ray. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, just some kind of unusual customer, So.
And you have, you can't even explain it. To try to explain the movie a little bit without spoiling it for us.
Well, it's a day in the life. It all takes place, except for the very ending. It takes place in a 24-hour period, and so it's a lot of interaction with the customer. I mean, it basically is a stoner clerk gets fired.
Stoner Steve.
Stoner Steve. Steve. Actually played by Jeff Sanguis from the band Telegraph.
Okay.
And he gets fired, and then the day goes on, and customers come and go. Some very strange people. Some of them as strange as the clerks, and Then later in the day, after I go home, and
things begin to happen.
Yes, they do. Just after midnight. Yeah. Just after midnight.
Yeah, it's a great. You got to see it, and Andy's watched part of it, and I can't spoil it for him. No. At the end.
Now we should bring up the guy that actually did it. Who he made this. This is a no-budget film, and the guy that actually did it is a guy named Ryan Mead, who's done a couple other features. All for no budget, right. But this one doesn't look it, I don't think. And he did the cinematography, the editing, most of the writing, and I think is a really talented guy.
Oh, it is. I mean, the show is top notch. I mean, you just have to see it. It's hard to explain. Where did the inspiration from this film come?
Well, Ryan came in with an idea. After he'd socialized with us for a while as a customer, and he made some art for the store, made a commercial for the store, and one day he came in and he said he wanted to make a movie and showed me the script, and we said, let's go. So we did, and it just got rolled through. Everything from writing to the premiere and the DVD was maybe a couple of months.
Yeah. It's kind of weird for me sitting here with you guys on the couch, having seen you at the video store, and now lying on the couch watching you on my TV this morning, and now you're here. Look at that. It's kind of surreal. The world of cable TV. It's crazy. Where do people, we just have a couple more minutes, where can people get a copy of You Can't Rent Here Anymore?
Well, it's available on the Thomas Video website. It's available at our store. Some other local stores have it, including Comics and More, which is owned by Chris Brown, who's actually in the movie as well. He goes by the Chris Brown because there's so many Chris Browns.
And he worked with you guys for quite a while, didn't he?
No.
I thought, okay, never mind. I have wrong character in mind here.
But he sells them at his store, Comics and More on John R. in Madison Heights.
Okay.
As well. So.
Well, good.
And also, just to mention where your new location is, too. I'm not sure everybody realizes.
Yeah, I should probably mention that.
We moved a year ago from Clawson to back to Royal Oak, a half mile from the old store, half mile east, so we are in Rochester Road, barely south of 14 Mile now on the east side of the street.
Great. Yeah, I was in there yesterday. You guys got it all cleaned up, looking pretty colorful, and it's great.
All right, hey.
Well, hey, guys, thank you very much for making this a very special Royal Oak show, and I wish you all the luck in your movie.
Thanks a lot. You are very talented at doing that. Yeah.
Well, so now now they're all sitting around their computers saying, oh, geez, I got to find out what that word is.
Right, what is it?
I have to buy that CD.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
And I hope nothing but the best for you.
Thanks a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being on the Royal Oak Show. Thank you to all the volunteers, our guests. Thank you very much, Andy. We've got to go now. Thank you.